Hey guys, today we're going to talk about NHL scores from the 29th, back on Thursday. We're going to talk about some other players in the NHL, some updates with injuries, that kind of thing. We're going to dive into some more Ducks news and updates and get going on that, which we always do. And then we're going to talk about the Metro Division and who my 1 through 8 predictions are. See you in a bit. All right, so here we go. Let's get into Thursday, the 29th, some scores. We're going to do a quick recap and round up all the scores from Thursday. Let's start it off. We're going to talk about the Carolina and Florida game. Carolina beat the Florida Panthers 5-2. Okay, that was a landslide victory there for Carolina. Bobrovsky let in 5 goals on 28 shots. That's not good, people. Again, it's preseason, so we're not going to put too much into that and throw the guy under the bus, but that's not looking good. Let's hope that he improves for Florida, right? Former Duck, Stefan Nason, scored for Carolina. He got the goal scoring started for Carolina last night. Stefan Nason. One of those Ducks that the Ducks actually drafted him, and things didn't quite work out. But he's jumped around a little bit. He's now with Carolina, but he got the first goal for them last night. So, moving along, the Nashville Predators beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-0. So they blanked him out there. Nino Niederreiter for the Predators. Used to be a former Hurricane, is now a Pred. He scored for the Preds. The Devils beat the Rangers 5-2. Dougie Hamilton for the Devils got a goal and 2 assists in that game. So Jets beat the Canadiens 4-3. Interesting on that one, the number 30 pick in the 22 draft, this last year's draft, for the Jets, a gentleman named Brad Lambert. He tied the game kind of late in the third, made it 3-3. And then they ended up winning the game. So Jets 4-3 over the Canadiens. Blues beat the Jackets 4-2. The Wild beat the Stars 5-2. A former Duck, Sam Steele. Ducks fans, you know Sam Steele. He was with us for several years, and then we did not offer him a qualifying offer. So he ended up going to the Wild. He signed, I think, a 1-year deal with the Wild. He scored in that game. So good job, Sam Steele. Hope he does well in Minnesota. And then the Kraken, man, they are off to a great start this preseason. I've talked about it before in previous videos. Seattle is a team to watch. Kind of like Ottawa, kind of like Calgary's new look, kind of like Columbus and their new look. It's really it's a good thing for the league, of course. It's a good thing for Seattle. I'm on the Seattle bandwagon a little bit. I mean, I'm a Ducks fan through and through, but Seattle is up there. I like them. I like what they've done in the offseason, and it's already showing in the preseason. They beat the Canucks, though, 4-3. Demko, the goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks, he allowed 1 goal on 18 shots. So he did his job, but the other gentleman didn't see who it was, let in the other 2. But long story short, Kraken beat the Canucks. And I'm pretty sure Seattle is unbeaten in the preseason. So, like I said before, they're going to be fun to watch. Some other NHL news out there, Alexander Ovechkin, okay, and Darcy Kuemper, who is a new cap coming over from the Avs. They make their NHL preseason debuts. They're going to be playing tonight, I believe, in the first game of the preseason. So finally getting their feet wet in the preseason. Dallas's Ty Dellandrea. Hope I said that right. Ty Dellandrea. He sustained a hand injury. He's got a broken finger. And then Nico Hischier of the New Jersey Devils, their captain, actually. He's got a hamstring strain, apparently. He's probably going to be kind of a week-to-week watching him, making sure he's okay. So I want to dive into the Anaheim Ducks and how they're doing and just give you a quick rundown and update with them. 5 different players have been reassigned to their junior team. I'm going to go over those 5 right now. Gage Alexander, he's a goaltender. He went back to the Swift Current. And let's see, Sean Shigurl, something like that. I probably killed that name. He's a center. He's back down with Calgary of the Western Hockey League. Tyson Hines. Tyson Hines, actually, we just signed to a 3-year entry-level contract. The Ducks did. And so obviously we like what we see with him and we want to keep him around. He's a defenseman, and they've actually reassigned him to the Sherbrooke of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Nathan Gauthier, our second pick in this last year's draft, they've reassigned him to Quebec of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. And Olin Zellweger, a lot of people were a little bit upset about this, but I kind of saw it coming. Olin Zellweger has been reassigned to Everett of the Western Hockey League. He had a great preseason, played in the first 3 games. I really like Olin Zellweger and the future on the blue line for the Ducks with him in the mix. It's going to be great. Olin Zellweger, one to watch. I'm sure he's going to have a great year in Everett. So good stuff there. I wanted to talk a little bit about Mason McTavish, only basically just touching on that we haven't really seen him in the preseason yet. He's been dealing with an injury. I don't think it's a major injury. They're just protecting him again. They don't want it to aggravate it, make it worse. So McTavish is dealing with something. And then, of course, Trevor Zegras. I have not heard anything yet on what they found. They're still evaluating him, trying to figure out, what exactly is going on. But he had that big hit with Arizona in the last game where he sustained an upper body injury. It looked like a shoulder type injury. And so he's going to be day to day. He may even be week to week depending on what they find, but we're still waiting to kind of hear the news on that. So I haven't heard anything yet. I definitely will report that as soon as I hear it. Trevor Zegras, man, we really want him to get healthy and get back in the lineup. Love that guy. We're down to 30 forwards, 19 defensemen, and 5 goalies on the preseason roster. Of course, there's going to be a lot of movement here in the next probably week, especially in the next few days. Trimming the roster down is going to start really ramping up here. So look for some players to start dropping off, and I'll touch on that every time I see a significant amount of stuff being moved as far as players go. So, but yeah, and then I want to touch real quick on the fact that the Ducks play tonight, Friday, September 30th at Honda Center. We're playing the Sharks tonight at 8 o'clock Pacific time. So that's actually, I think that's 9 o'clock my time, Mountain time. So kind of a late game for me, but Sharks tonight. I think it's a split squad game, if I'm not mistaken. So either way, game tonight, Ducks fans, definitely try to catch that if you can. Okay. Now, I wanted to also talk about something kind of cool. I'm going to give you guys my personal rankings on the Metro Division and where I think the top team is and the last 8th place team in the Metro. We're going to do this for all 4 divisions, but I thought it would be fun to kind of do that. This is my predictions. This is my opinions. So again, leave comments below and tell me what you think. If you think I'm wrong and I'm crazy, do it. Throw it in there. And but either way, I wanted to just go through that. I think that would be fun. So here we go. Metro Division. These are my predictions. Okay, 8th place, Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers fans, you're not going to like me for that, of course, but Philadelphia's got a new coach, John Tortorella. I think it's going to help them, of course. John's a great coach. He's proved that over his tenure. He is known for being kind of abrasive, I've heard, in stories in the NHL, and that players, they butt heads a lot with Tortorella. But either way, I think he's a good coach. He's going to help them improve, of course. But from the team standpoint, are they ready to really make any significant improvements and jump in the standings? And that's a tight division. The Metro there's a lot of good teams. Philadelphia, I think, is going to come in 8th place in the Metro. 7th place in the Metro Division, the New York Islanders. I don't think the Islanders are there yet. I think they're kind of far from it, really. I think they're going to do better than the Philadelphia Flyers will, but there's just too many good teams in this division. The Islanders 7th place for those guys. As far as 6th place, I think the New Jersey Devils are going to come in the 6th spot. There's a chance they can do a little bit better than that. Again, these are just my predictions, but I think they're going to finish 6th. I think they're going to have an improvement over last year. I really do, but I just don't know if they're ready to get too far up there. 6th is where I've got them. I have a feeling on the 5th spot in the Metro, it's going to be the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is another team that could surprise us and change and make me look like a fool, and they may very well. The New Jersey Devils as well. But the Blue Jackets, I think, are going to come in at the 5th spot. I think Johnny Hockey and Patrick Laine are going to put up great numbers, but are they ready to move, even further? I mean, they're going to be much improved, I think, especially on the goal scoring side of things. I just don't know if they're ready to get into that top 4. So Columbus Blue Jackets in the 5th position. Number 4, the Washington Capitals. I think that Ovechkin's, he's getting towards the end of his career here. He's still a great goal scorer. I just don't see, the Caps were so good for so many years. I feel like things are starting to kind of fall off. And so I think the Caps, I think they're still good enough to get into that 4th spot and maybe make a wild card and get into the playoffs. But 4th spot for the Capitals. In 3rd, Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh Penguins, kind of like the Washington Capitals. I think they're getting to the end of the Crosby Malkin era. The Letang era, those 3 guys specifically. They did add Rickard Rakell last year at the trade deadline. They still have some really good players in Danton Heinen. They're going to be a good team. They're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to get very far. They might make the 2nd round, but we'll just have to see. I just think it's at this point they're getting close to that time where it's going to be close to a rebuild and starting to kind of change things up. So Pittsburgh's going to be in the 3rd spot, I think, in the Metro. 2nd spot in the Metro is going to go to the New York Rangers. A lot of people think the New York Rangers might come in at 1st spot there, but I don't think so. I think they're going to come in 2nd. They're definitely going to be in the playoffs, and they're definitely going to make a deep run like they did last year. They've got a great team, and they did lose some key components like Ryan Strome, Frank Vetrano. Those guys that's not going to help them. But at the same time, I still think they have a strong, good team. They're going to do well. And 2nd for those guys. And of course, the last team, 1st place in the Metro, my prediction, Carolina Hurricanes. The Carolina Hurricanes, they did lose some key players in the offseason, but they added Brent Burns. Okay, offensive producing defenseman, veteran on the blue line. Can't take that from him. That's good. Pacioretty and a defenseman named Coghlan both came over from Vegas. You've added a lot of depth and scoring right there, and just right there. So that's a huge addition to that team. And then they also added Andre Kasha, a former Duck, to a 1-year deal, and that if he gels on a certain line with certain players, we'll just have to see where they put him. He can put up some numbers. Kasha's one of those underrated, flies under the radar type of players that I always liked Andre Kasha when he was a Duck. He just didn't perform to their expectations. But Carolina Hurricanes are my Metro Division number 1. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe down below. Leave comments. Check out my email, duckshockeyandmore@gmail.com. And we're going to see you guys next time around. Okay? Thanks.